Hey, this is Stacia, and we are going. Oops, I just noticed that this is actually wrong. This is training game 9, I'm about to show you. This game was a little more complicated. I believe it was a French defense, a Rubinstein variation. So let's put this in. And we are going to call this one let's call it one chance because that's kind of how this game goes. All right. And okay, well, I was sitting in the high 1700s. Yes, I feel like I'm on the home stretch. I don't want to jinx myself though. But, you know, in terms of climbing to 1800, yeah, before this game I was rated 1791. And then this game happened. Sorry, I keep spoiling the results, but that's okay because in chess you're not going to win all your chess games. That's just not really a thing. But when you lose, it's important to learn from the game. So let's have a look at this one, and I feel like there's a few instructive moments. Okay, so I had white, and I went e4, and he played e6, which is the French defense. So the idea of the French defense is to play d5, and if white were to take, you take back with a pawn. That's basically the idea. All right, but I like to play knight d2 here, which is the Terrace variation. And my opponent took the pawn here. So this is something I see in blitz games, but I've never really seen in a serious game. And I know this to be the Rubinstein variation. And so this draws my knight out into the middle. And then there actually is a funny trap here. So some of you guys like chess traps. There actually is a funny one here because my opponent played this, and the reason why is he wants to play knight f6, but if you do that right now, I will take, your queen comes out, and then this happens all the time. It doesn't have to happen yet, but it does. I'm just telling you it does. First of all, there is bishop d3. If they take the pawn, this is not the trap, but, you know, don't lose your queen. So bishop d3, and that pawn is still protected. That's the important thing. And then a lot of times they do something like knight c6, and I just play knight f3. What could look more natural than that? But what we're trying to do is play bishop g5 and trap the queen. And if you can see, basically that's going to happen. Like bishop g5 is a huge threat already. I mean, look at this bishop, and then bishop g5 takes away the e7 square, which is why a lot of people have a blind spot for this. So, you know, if they do something silly, like let's say they just develop their bishop, I will go bishop to g5, and it's game over. It's game over. There's nothing more to do here. I guess they could take that. I mean, I don't know. There's nothing to do. The queen is trapped. So, okay. Anyway, I digress. It's a pretty cool trap though. So but they have to do this. This is why black normally doesn't do this. They go here first because now they can play knight f6, and if I take, they take back with the knight, not the queen. So, okay. Yeah, at this point of the game, I didn't know any more theory. I'm out of book already. So I knew that he wants to play knight to f6, so I came up with what I thought was an interesting idea in the opening, and that was c4. And my idea was that, well, number one, I want to take some space, but then when he plays here, I'm going to retreat my knight behind my c-pawn. That was the point of it. And well, it turns out some masters have played this way. So, but we should know how to play the main line, or at least like to know what the main line is before I deviate from it. And it is just knight f3, and then I would assume this And we actually do take it. It just seems so counterintuitive to me to do that, but I guess we don't have anything better with this knight. And then we just go bishop d3. Now I notice black usually goes c5 right away, and we take. That also looks counterintuitive to me, because now we don't have a center pawn anymore, but I guess it was attacked. And then they castle, or wait, then we castle, they castle, and we all castle. And we all scream for ice cream. Okay, anyway, and then bishop g5, and the game just goes on. But this is like, you know, the computer says equal. I see in the database that white wins more than black, but okay. It's a game of chess, basically, and it's a fairly open game, so I don't think I'd be unhappy with any of this. But in this game, I played c4, and they went knight f6, and I played knight c3. So that all happened, and then he played bishop to e7, which the engine doesn't like that much, but it looks fine to me. I don't see anything wrong with it. What does the engine want instead? Oh, wow, it wants c5 right now. Yeah, the engine just, you know, the engine loves taking space in the center. And yeah, that is kind of annoying, isn't it? I can't push the pawn. Defending it seems wrong. So, okay. Anyway, I played knight to f3 here, and he played b6. I went bishop b2. I figured if this bishop is coming here, I probably should protect the knight. So that way my queen won't get tied down. I can go queen c2 or something different. All right, so castle, castle. Okay, we have a chess position here. So once again, I see the engine like c5. I think that I'm going to turn the engine off. I keep getting drawn into the engine, but I played rook to e1, and I was kind of thinking in this part of the game, you know, this doesn't look so different than pan of attack lines that I've played. So, you know, in the pan of attack, we do put the bishop or the rook on e1. Only difference is I usually like my bishop on d3, because we might even have Greek gift sacrifices at some point. It's just more active on d3. Okay, but c5, and yeah, I actually thought he would go c5. I really did. And I decided ahead of time that I was probably going to push d5. The reason being, you know, if we take, I'll have the engine on to guide me through this. I mean, I feel like black has some nice options here. I mean, taking with a knight or a bishop looks nice to me. And then the queens are, yeah, the engine likes this one the best, but it does like both of them. And then, you know, the queens are about to be traded. And I guess the best option I have is this. Black could trade, though. I don't see anything wrong with this at all. And this looks, you know, equal to me. There's nothing special here at all. So before all that, you know, I have two pawns in the center. So I thought I would go d5 here. And what I calculated here is that if he takes with a pawn, I'll take with a pawn. And if I can maintain that, I know it's an isolated pawn, but it blocks the bishop. And the e file opens up for my rook. And I thought, you know, this looks kind of good. So that is what happened. And the engine approves of this plan. Yeah, and here I was curious what he would do. I thought for sure he would go rook e8, or I was kind of hoping for queen c7, but that would undefend this. So I would have discoveries, but not that any of them are good. I probably would play something like that, but okay, but he played this, bishop d6. He's like, no, I don't want to hang my bishop, so he went here. And this is different because now queen c7, applies pressure on h2. And not only that, but the bishop is blockading the pawn, so I will not have any timely d6 options to go for. Okay, so I thought, all right, well, now bishop g5 looks inviting. I think I'll do that, because it looks like he should go bishop e7. So this is top engine move. He played h6, attacking my bishop. Yeah, and here I saw this move prior to playing bishop g5. I wanted to play knight to e4. I just thought it looked so interesting. And so I mean, the knight is pinned, right? So knight to e4 attacks the pinned knight. It's kind of nice. And then I thought if they take here, I have some options. Well, mainly this one. I guess that's the only option. Because that's a free bishop. So I lost a bishop, but got one. And, if he tries to do like some crazy discovery on me, even though there aren't any, I can always just take the bishop. It's really no big deal. So yeah, the computer doesn't like this move very much. It wants to take, which I think is not ideal at all. I mean, I don't want to do this. Why would I want to do this? And then go bishop c4. Yeah, I don't really, I guess we're just protecting the pawn. Yeah, we're just protecting the pawn. All right, the other move it likes is this one. Oops, h6, and back off. Now, I actually thought, what did I think here? I was wondering about this, but this is, we can't really sacrifice. It's not going to work out, but I wasn't all that excited about this. I thought he would simply take. The engine likes white a little bit, and I know it's because, the king side has been weakened. So this is more of a long-term thing that we can work on. I think that's what's going on with this. And it just wants like rook e8 and queen d3. And I think we're going to, work on these weaknesses over here. This is really weak. That's weak. Weak, weak. Okay. So I did play this in h6, but I went knight e4. But there's a downside to knight e4 that I didn't pay enough attention to. The downside is I just unprotected my pawn. And that's not a pawn that I want to lose. Like, if I lose that pawn, then black has, his 3 versus 2 on the queen side, and his bishop will be alive. And I'll just be worse. I don't think I have any compensation there for a pawn at all. So I think knight e4 was not the way to go. But in the game, he did not take the bishop. He played queen c7. And now is a critical moment. So how would you play as white? If you'd like to, pause your video and find what move you would play. Okay, so I was planning 2 things here, and I thought they both looked pretty interesting. One is to, our bishop is attacked, so we should probably do something about that. So one thing we could do is take the knight on f6. We could do it with the bishop or the knight because the result is the same. It's with check with the knight. So, and I don't think, this is not good. Like, don't do this, right? Like, why would you do that? White's got to be winning here. So they should take with a knight, but then we take here. And I saw this variation, and when I first looked at it, I was excited about it. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, I don't know. I'm like, he can just go, why can't he just go king h8? I have no dark square bishop, and rook g8. And like, there's a lot of firepower, and, I'm worried. So maybe this is not the way to go. But actually, it's quite good for white. Yeah, the computer likes this move, which is basically a queen transfer. That's when we're like, hey, I wish my queen could go to g4, but I can't hop over pieces. So, you go like this. Now we're going to get to g4. Okay. Okay, the other move, though, that was possible here after queen c7 was to take the bishop. So these were my two main moves that I was thinking about. And, well, if we look at this one, there's two things that can happen here. He could take with the queen, or he could take the bishop. If he takes the bishop, he actually will lose a pawn, I believe, right? Because I will take this, he will take, and then I go here. And now we just want a pawn. So I thought that was good. But what I didn't understand is that he would just take with the queen. So now my bishop's still attacked. And I went bishop h4, but there's no pin here. So I'm just looking to reroute. And he doesn't have a weak castle for his king, like in the other line. But what's really the most horrible problem of it all is that my pawn's just going to be lost. I don't see any way to really save that. It's attacked so many times, and it could be attacked some more even. Like, it's attacked by the knight, the queen, the bishop. Okay, I've got it defended once. So how on earth would I even save that? It doesn't seem possible. This isn't really going to work, I don't think. Yeah, there's no way all this is going to work. So, and that's what the computer knew that I failed to see during the game. So it turns out that the correct move here is to, take on f6 one way or another. You've got to do it one way or another here after queen c7. And then we can work on the fractured structure after this. Like queen a4, and that's going to be check. And like, let's just pretend that black does that plan that I was talking about, because I should know why that plan doesn't work at all. Okay, so I thought maybe here, although I would think he would want to win the pawn first, right? Like, I'd be worried about him winning the pawn. Should I take a pawn? All right, I'll take a pawn. Okay, queen g4 check. King h8. Now rook g8 is going to happen. But we just go queen h5. That attacks that. And then what to do, right? What to do? Okay, let's guard it. The engine said that's a free bishop. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Okay, so actually this is a fork. I kind of didn't see that. Sorry. Okay, well let's take the knight. Okay, check. King g8. And you gotta love the engine. Bishop d3. You know, who needs a piece? We don't care about this. We're gonna mate. We're gonna mate you. Okay. We have to stop mate now. So let's push up on f5. And okay, takes. But now maybe I can go f6. Lateral defense. And computer says bishop e6 check. Yeah, this looks very, very bad. I mean, I have to block with the rook. There's no other option. And now they can, well, they can take the bishop back for one. Another move it's giving, though, is queen g6 check. This is cute. And if here, queen h6 check. Wow, if we go here, there's discoveries. That can't be good. I probably would. I don't see what else to do. Okay, you're getting the gist of this. Wait one. So that didn't work at all, taking the pawn. Okay. I feel like I'm diving down rabbit holes. You guys tell me if I do that too much, but I think it's interesting. Like, I just found that line very interesting, but maybe you don't. I don't know. All right, so if we get back to the game, this is a very long game still. Yeah, I played bishop h4 and he took. And, well, this is bad news for me for more than one reason. Number one is I'm down a pawn and, you know, queen trades are not good. On the other hand, if I don't trade queens, this battery isn't good either. So my knight is actually pinned because I don't want to hang mate on g2. So I did play here. You know, what else is there? Computer wanted to play h3, but what is that? That's just silly. Maybe knight g4 was a huge threat, but if I was black, I would probably just do this. I mean, this is pretty simple. And black's up a pawn. White does have the two bishops, but that's it. Okay, so I went here. He brought his rook to e8. And I attacked the queen that way. Now, it turns out that move's a mistake. What should we do? That's the question. And why is that a mistake? Okay, I'm looking. Why is that a mistake? Maybe queen c6 is desirable? Okay, let's find out. I really don't know. Oh. I was inviting black to take the pawn during the game. I actually thought that might be a good idea because I was worse, but the engine is saying, like, yay, another pawn. I'm 2 pawns up. Yeah, and okay, I was thinking bishop c5 or bishop c4 in this position looked kind of annoying, and I might even get to play like queen g6 and have some fun on the king side. That's what I thought, but the computer just says queen a5, no problem. And if I try this craziness, you know, it just trades and goes rook f8 and defends it. And now I've got nothing else to do here. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, I can't even really take because it is still guarded. And, can't move the knight or I lose, so don't do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's over. So the engine likes grabbing that pawn. My opponent did not, though. He went here. Okay, bishop g3. And now I thought, okay, you know, maybe I can, you know, put something on d6, like a rook. and go from there. And I thought, you know, so I did do this. He moved here, trying to trade queens again. Pretty good move. I guess queen c8 is stronger, which I find hard to understand. But okay, here I don't want to trade queens. And the queen is now in line with my rook, which is guarded by that. I do have to be careful though, right? I do have to be careful. So I went here, queen d2. So that actually pins this knight because this rook's only defended once. And it also guards my rook. So now that's guarded twice. Now my bishop's not pinned. So I unpinned my bishop and pinned his knight. How do you like that? Okay. Oops. Yeah, and then he went here and I was like, oh, he keeps doing this. I used to play like this when I was a d4 player. I'd be like, please trade queens, I'm up a pawn. I don't play chess like that anymore, and now I see that it is annoying though. Oh my gosh, I have to go soon. Okay, yeah, this time I saw no choice. I took the queen. At least I got double pawns out of it. Okay, and I went here. So he can take my rook if he wants to. I'm looking at this. Hang on a second. Yeah, I kind of think he should take it. He did take it. And played a6. Okay, so what is the situation here? The situation is this. Okay, we are down a pawn, but it's just a double pawn. That's the pawn, you know. And we have two bishops. So I think we have chances to hold. I'm not going to say win, but we have chances to hold. And I think the only downside is I was very behind on the clock and I didn't get timestamps this time. So I think I had something like 2 minutes and he had 10 minutes, or, you guys know how I am by now. Okay, so I think originally I was planning bishop c6 here, but I have to admit it doesn't look all that great. What I really wanted to do was bishop to c7. This is what I really want to play. If I can get that, that would be really nice. So here, this is actually a blunder because this position's still equal, but this one is better for black because he takes and I take. Now there's no pin and this is defended. And I don't know, I feel like all the pressure's off black and now, you're left staring at my knight on the first rank. So I don't know, I don't like this at all. So let's try to figure out what should we have done here. There's a better move. What's the better move? Okay, we have to move this bishop, I think. Okay, well, taking is an option. So if we take, I thought he could take with a knight or a rook. Now, if he takes with a rook, then then we win that. Okay, so he can't do that. If he takes with a knight, now that knight's pinned with one less defender. That looks like a really annoying pin, actually, doesn't it? Ooh, wait a minute. Don't we have ideas here? What I like about this position, I'll just put it on the board for a second, is that if we can play bishop c7, okay, if we can play that move, never mind the fork. That doesn't even matter. What matters is that we're attacking the rook, which is guarding the knight. So if we get that in, we'll win. Unfortunately, the rook's in the way. So I would want to play something like, I don't know, how about this move? Because now I'm threatening a pawn, and if he just guards the pawn, I go here. And if the rook moves away, oh my gosh, wait, is there rook e8? Oh, there's rook e8 though. Rook e8 would be mate, so that is so unfortunate, but I think we'll win a pawn at least. I probably have to go king f1. Oh, actually, I could do this too. I think that's a move. And if they go, I mean, I'm assuming they should move the knight now. Computer doesn't want to move the knight. Why not? I would think this is right. Something like that. But I guess this move. Oh, yeah. That's a move. That looks annoying. They want to play b3. b3. Wow, what a cheeky little move. Like, go ahead and take my knight. I'll make a queen. Okay, no, I don't want that. So I would take here. Wow, that's a nice little finesse the computer did. That is cool. I really like b3. Okay, but anyway, yep, that's how I should have did it. I should have played bishop takes knight. Because if here we win the pawn, and if here, you know, we can play for this idea, and at least it's still a game there. This move, however, is just not good. Plus, I don't think we want to trade pieces. Yeah, and it's still equal here. Let's just get to one last critical moment. I feel like this video has been long enough. Actually, I thought this was supposed to be bad. I remember the engine showed me this is bad, what I did here. It thought I should just take the, rook earlier. That does create a weak pawn. You know, maybe that's something. Maybe it is. And then we just go bishop d4. And put pressure on that. Trying to see if there's any other tricks in the position. Don't really see anything. I would like to put my knight here, I think, next. So instead I did this, trading for no reason. I gotta stop doing that. Even if it's time pressure, I gotta stop trading for no reason. King up. Oh, this is a huge blunder, this one. a3. Okay, let's look at this. Now, black's already better here, so I'm not sure that it says all that much meaning, but playing a3 was wrong for a concrete reason that I'm trying to remember. I think one reason is right now the black knight cannot access this square. And after this takes, the black knight can access that square. Yeah, so it wants rook e3 here for black. Let's learn one last thing. Rook e3, that is annoying because it attacks my knight. In addition, that's basically a skewer, because then they'll be able to take, and take. and that's 2 pawns up, and that's just absolutely winning. So we can't allow this move, okay? And so instead, I mean, the engine likes rook d7 or something. I played this. Now, he took in the game. I took back. Now, rook e3 is still best, but he did this move. Yeah, why did I go king f1? Because I don't want him to check and run over here and win that. But yeah, it's just tough to do much here. Yeah, it's very tough to do anything. I just needed him to blunder. Yeah, this is tough, right? I mean, check here. And then he pushes a pawn. I don't even like that rook move. It doesn't do anything. So I knew he was going to go a4. I didn't know what else to do, though. So what should I do? Computer says g4 is best. That doesn't seem to do anything either, if you ask me. Like, except lose a pawn. So I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably just lost, and I'll show you what happened. For closure, he eventually worked his rook over here. And took it. I really have no moves. I can't really do anything, so... Yeah, and then I got my knight pinned. Hate it when that happens. And then he's going to take all my pawns. I always say never resign. That's why I'm not resigning. But at this point, I resigned. But the computer says mate in 6, so good time to resign. Yeah, so that was a rough game. It turns out that the only chance I had for advantage was, you know, right here after queen to c7. You know, after this move, I had 2 choices and I chose the wrong one. And I thought, you know, we're going to look at this one last time because this is critical. Okay, no, this is a blunder. He can't do that. So he has to go here, take. Okay, so we've given him, you know, the broken castle. That's what I'm telling my students. I call this the broken castle because they love to take with their g-pawns when they don't need to. All right, but you don't want the broken castle. And here I thought, you know, why can't he just go king h8? Like, let's say queen a4, king h8. I'm going to try what I was afraid of against the computer. Computer says, no problem, queen h4. How are you going to defend your pawn? And I would say like this. And then it takes this one. Oh. Yeah, I mean, this broken castle is just too weak. There's just too many ways in, right? Like, what now? I kind of like pushing now, but computer likes g3. Get out of here, bishop. And if the bishop goes here, probably just take that thing. Yep, we do. And king h7, and yeah, this is going to be over very quickly. So maybe rook e6, because mating people is good. And I actually have to go see my niece and nephew now. I spent way too long in this video. I was going to do a quick recap. Oops. I love chess too much. I've seriously fallen into a trance. That's why I always get in time pressure. But anyway, this is Stacia from Chess is Best, and thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more chess.